Hey guys, how you doing? It's Ron from ATSStats.com with your CFL report for Week 16 of the Canadian Football League. Hope you have yourself a good start to your weekend. Let's get right into this one between the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Toronto Argonauts. And looking at last weekend, big win for the Tiger Cats. They're now on a 2-game win streak. They took care of business against the Ottawa Redblacks at home at Tim Hortons Field. 37-21 was the final, while the Toronto Argonauts pulled off the upset against the BC Lions. 33-17 was your final last weekend at BC Place. Now, Toronto, a 6.5 point favorite. 53.5 is your total. ATS forecast system play. Going to go with the Argos in this one. 27-21 the over-under at 49.8. So we do like this game to stay under the total. Looking at the last 5 games for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, they are 2-3 straight up, 3-2 ATS, and 4-1 to the over. While the Argos are 3-2 straight up, 2-3 against the number, and 3-2 to the over. I did have the line listed at minus 6.6, so you are getting fair market value if you do like the Toronto Argonauts. And I had plus 2.8, and you're getting plus 6.5. So if you like Hamilton, you're getting really good value. The chance of winning this game straight up does favor the Argos at 69.5% compared to 27.2 for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And looking at some of the other numbers, anytime Toronto's at home against a team with a losing record, the last 10 games, they are 9-1 straight up, 7-3 ATS, and 7-3 to the over. While the Hamilton Tiger Cats on the road last 9, you can see they're 4-4 against a team with a 50 to 59.9 win percentage, 5-2-1 ATS, and in their last 10 trips to BMO, they're 4-6, 5-5 ATS, and the Argos, they take care of business, 7-3 straight up and against the point spread. And you know what? Toronto at home off that, hey, that win against BC, that's a statement game right there. And they're coming back home where they're 7-3 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings against the Argonauts. And on Labor Day, these teams just played there a few weeks ago. I believe that game was at Hamilton. Yeah, it was on a 28-31 victory for the Tiger Cats. A little revenge factor here. I'm going to go with the Argos here. I don't like laying 6.5 though. I think the point spread is right where it's at. I'm going to take the under. I'm going to take the under in this one. I'm going to go with the forecast. 27-21 is my final, but I do like Toronto to win. I just don't like the number right here, 6.5. I think 6.5 is just a little bit too many points, and I don't feel comfortable with that. But if you're going to play this one, I would go under the total, and I'm just going to see if there's any other numbers supporting this. Anytime the Hamilton Tiger Cats on the road last 3 years against the division foe, 6-13 to the under. And let me see here for the Argos. At Hamilton, since 96 at home, 14-21 to the under. So, all right. Well, that's last 3 years, teams against the Hamilton Tiger Cats at home, 14-21 to the under. That's what that means. All right, I'm going to go under the total in this one, but I like the Argos to win that game straight up. Let's get to the next one here between Saskatchewan and Calgary, and the Green Riders and the Stampeders going through a rough time. You know, when you're playing 18 games in the Canadian Football League, it's tough to keep the momentum going for like 18 full weeks, right? It's like the NFL. But minus 2.5 is your line here for the Green Riders. 51 is your total. ATS forecast system play. Going to go with a 3-point victory for Saskatchewan. 26-23, the over-under at 50.1. So we do like this game to stay under the total. Both these teams are struggling. 0-4 straight up with a tie for both teams. How many times are you going to see a tie in the Canadian Football League? You know, it's a big field, a lot of points. But both these teams had a tie in their last 5 games. In fact, the Saskatchewan Roughriders tied the Ottawa Redblacks 22-22 on August 8th. And last weekend in Calgary, it was a 19-19 tie between the Montreal Alouettes and the Calgary Stampeders. And you know what? You got to give credit to the Stamps. Like, Montreal is one of the best teams in the Canadian Football League. And for them to be competitive against a really good team, it bodes well for Dave Dickinson and the Calgary Stampeders heading into this weekend. Needing a win. They need a win bad. And when I look at the numbers here, I got a 60.8 chance of winning for Saskatchewan, 39.2 for Calgary. But when I look at this matchup, I know you got Trevor Harris, the quarterback for Saskatchewan, Jake Mayer for the Stamps. I got to give the edge here to the Riders, but I think the defense wins the day here for Saskatchewan. Give me the under 51 in this game, and let's see if we can cash it right there. All right, let's get to your next one, the game that I'll be at here in Ottawa between the Montreal Alouettes and the Ottawa Redblacks. Now, Redblacks took it on the chin last week against Hamilton, 37-21, and Ottawa's getting banged up. They lost their left tackle this week, Boyd, and now their best linebacker, Pickett, is out for the year with an Achilles injury. Man, it's going to be tough sledding here for the Ottawa Redblacks, but it doesn't get any easier. The good news is, though, it looks like this game is going to have a great crowd. There's already 20,000 tickets sold for the game, so there's going to be a lot of energy in the building. And the Montreal Alouettes coming in off that tie to Calgary. 2.5 is the line, 49.5 is the total. And according to the Raymond Report computer forecast, I got Montreal winning 26-20, the over-under at 47.5. And looking at the over-under, we have it landing on 47.5. So we do like this game to stay under the total. And looking at the Montreal Alouettes, 3-1-1 the last 5 games. Ottawa's 3-2. And looking at the chance of winning this game, does favor Montreal at 66.6% compared to 31.8%. And the last time these two teams met, it was on the opening second week of the season. Yeah, it was June 20th, 47-21 victory for Montreal. And going into this one, as much as I would love to take Ottawa and those 2.5 points, they're getting hammered on injuries right now. Montreal, they're a great football team. Let's not kid ourselves. 10-2-1 on the season. Ottawa's 8-4. A lot at stake here. A lot of for the playoff picture for Ottawa to host a playoff game. If you're going to play this one, I would take Montreal on the money line. I wouldn't take the spread. Montreal money line is where I would lean. But as you know, my heart is with the Ottawa Red Blacks, so I'm hoping my wallet's with the Alouettes, my heart is with the Red Blacks, and we all know how that works out, right? All right, let's get to this one. Let's go to Winnipeg against Edmonton. The Blue Bombers, man, this is probably the hottest team along with Edmonton. Both these teams are really doing well. In fact, the Bombers off that slow start, but you look at Edmonton off those two, so they're off a 37-16 win against Calgary, 35-20, that Labor Day Classic, and then the 21-17 loss to the Alouettes, a tough game they could have won, 47-22. Yeah, hey, Edmonton's for real right now. Ever since Chris Jones got fired and Jarrett Jackson came in and took over, this Edmonton team is doing really good right now. And Winnipeg, they were the favorites at the beginning of the year. Let's not forget that. I think we tend to forget going into the 2024 season, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were favored to win the Grey Cup. So I'm not surprised where they're at right now. They're expected to be this good. -2 is the line, 49.5 is the total. And I got the Winnipeg Blue Bombers winning 26.4 to 23.2. The over-under landing on 49.7. Hey, Winnipeg on a 5-game win streak, while the Edmonton Elks off those 2 wins against Calgary. There are 6 ATS wins, though. That's very impressive from a betting perspective. But they're 0-6 at home against a team with a 50 to 59.9 win percentage. I'm going to go Winnipeg money line this weekend against Edmonton. That's probably my best bet of the weekend. And as always, let's cash it.